Welcome, my friends. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I want to share something very special with you. We all know that English is the most important language in the world. If you want to get a good job, you should know English. If you want to travel to other countries, you should learn English. If you want to start a business, English can help you talk to people from different parts of the world. Even if you only want to watch movies, listen to music, or use social media, English is everywhere. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why is English the world's language? What makes it so important? How did one language become so powerful while many other languages were not? And the most important question is, how can English change your life? Today, we are going to learn the truth about why English became the most powerful language in the world. But before we start, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any important lessons like this one. Now, let's begin with the real reason why English became so popular around the world. Let's go back in time. About 1,500 years ago, English was not a world language. In fact, it was only spoken by a few small groups of people in a country called England. At that time, other languages were more powerful, like Latin, Greek, Chinese, and Arabic. These languages were used in big empires for trade and in religion. English was seen as a simple and unimportant language. It was only spoken by people living on a small island. So how did English grow from a small local language to the #1 language in the world? The answer is in history, power, and globalization. Now imagine this. It's the 1600s, and England is starting to grow stronger. But it is not the biggest or most powerful country. At that time, countries like Spain and France were stronger. But England had one big advantage, its navy. The British had one of the most powerful navies in history. They started to travel, take over, and control many places in the world. Soon, countries like India, parts of Africa, Australia, and parts of America were under British control. And when the British ruled these places, they also brought the English language with them. Here's the most important part. Even after these countries became independent and free again, many of them continued to use English. English stayed as the language used in government, schools, and business. That is why even today, countries like India, Nigeria, and South Africa still use English as one of their main languages. Now that we understand how the British Empire helped spread English around the world, let's move to the next part of the story. Because even though the British helped English reach many places, that was not enough to make it the world's #1 language. Something even bigger happened. A very big event that changed everything. That event was the rise of the United States of America. The year was 1945. The world had just finished one of the deadliest wars in history, World War II. Many strong countries like Britain, Germany, and France were badly damaged. Their economies were broken, their cities were destroyed, and millions of people had died in the war. But one country became stronger than ever, the United States. Unlike Europe, America did not have big destruction in its own land. In fact, its economy became even stronger during the war. America had the biggest industries, the best technology, and a strong and stable government. And when a country becomes very powerful, its language also becomes powerful. That is what happened with English. After the war, America started leading the world in many areas like politics, money, science, movies, and technology. As America became stronger, English also became more powerful. This was the second big wave of English becoming a world language. Let's look at the reasons why this happened. One reason is money. After World War II, the American dollar became the strongest money in the world. Almost every big country started using the dollar for trade, banks, and business. Think about this. When countries buy oil, they pay in dollars. When companies from different countries do business together, they use dollars. When people invest money in other countries, they often use the American system. Because money and business go together, the language of business became English. Even today, if you want to work in a big international company, make deals, or start a business in other countries, you need to know English. Another big reason was entertainment. America created modern movies, music, and pop culture. In the 1900s, America became the #1 country for fun and entertainment. Before that, people around the world mostly watched local movies and listened to music in their own languages. But after the war, Hollywood movies and American music became popular all over the world. The biggest films were made in Hollywood. The most famous singers were from America. The most popular TV shows were in English. So, more and more people started watching movies in English, listening to English songs, and wishing to speak English like their favorite stars. Even today, the most famous music albums, Netflix shows, and Hollywood movies are in English. 'Cause people love watching and listening to fun things, they learn English without even trying hard. The Internet also played a big part. It's hard to imagine a world without the Internet. Today, we use it for learning, working, talking to friends, shopping, and having fun. But here's something interesting. When the Internet was first made, almost everything was in English. The first websites were in English. The biggest tech companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and Facebook were American. Even the computer languages used to build the Internet were written in English. Because of this, English became the main language of the online world. Even now, most websites are in English. Many apps and computer programs use English words. So if you want to do well in today's digital world, you need to understand English. Whether you are studying, doing business, or just using social media, English is everywhere. Another reason English became so powerful is because of science and new inventions. Today, English is the main language of science, medicine, and technology. Think about it. The most important science papers are written in English. The best universities in the world teach in English. The biggest medical discoveries are shared in English. The most successful tech companies use English. So, if you are a scientist, doctor, or engineer and want to share your work with the world, you have to use English. That's why students and workers from countries like China, India, Brazil, and Russia all study English. They know that to be part of the future, they must speak the global language. English also became stronger because of America's army and world power. After World War II, America became the most powerful country in the world, not just in business and technology, but also in military and politics. Countries started to follow America's ideas and plans. And with this power, the English language became even more important. The United Nations, which is the most important group of countries working together, uses English as one of its main languages. The world's strongest military group, called NATO, also uses English. When leaders from different countries meet to talk about world problems, they usually speak in English. So, if you want to be part of world politics or international meetings, you need to understand English. Now let's take a moment and look at the full picture. English is not the language with the most native speakers. Chinese, Mandarin, has more people who speak it as their first language. Spanish is also spoken in many countries. But English is the most useful and powerful language in the world. Why is that? Because of money, business, movies, the internet, science, and world politics. If you can speak English, you can find better jobs in many countries. You can travel easily and talk to people from all over the world. You can learn new things faster because most courses and lessons online are in English. You can start a business and find more customers in other countries. You can enjoy movies, music, and shows from around the world without needing translations. That's why English is not just a language, it's a global skill. We have already talked about how English became so important. First, the British Empire helped spread it across the world. Then, America's power made it a key language in business, science, movies, and technology. But now, there's a big question we need to think about. Will English always be the world's main language? Or can another language like Chinese, Spanish, or even computer translations using artificial intelligence, AI, take its place? Now, we are going to look at this question step by step, in a way that's very easy to understand. By the end, you'll have a better idea of what could happen to English in the future. So, let's begin with this question. Why is English still getting stronger? Many people ask if English will lose its power, but the truth is, English is not getting weaker. It is actually getting stronger. Let's look at some facts to understand why. First, more people are learning English today than ever before. Right now, more than 1.5 billion people around the world are learning English. That's almost 20% of all the people in the world. Even in countries where English is not the main language like China, Russia, Brazil, and Germany, schools are teaching English to all students. Why is this happening? Because students, parents, and workers all understand one thing. If you speak English, your future can be better. You can get a good job. You can study at top universities. You can talk with people from other countries. Even in small towns in Africa or faraway villages in Asia, English learning centers are opening more and more every day. This shows that English is not just a school subject anymore. It has become a life skill, and the number of people learning it is growing every single year. Another reason is that the digital world runs on English. We live in a time where everything is connected through the internet, technology, and social media. And here's something important. The internet was built in English. More than 50% of all websites on the internet today are in English. Most computer programming languages are written using English words. If you want to work in jobs like technology, AI, coding, or data science, you need to understand English. Even social media apps like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube use English as their main language. For example, when a new trend starts online, it usually begins in English. Most popular videos, memes, and global conversations are in English. Even when people from countries where English is not the main language post something, they often use English hashtags so more people can see it. This shows that English is not just a regular language, it is needed in the digital world. And in today's world, if something is strong online, it is strong in real life too. That's why millions of people in countries like India, China, and Brazil spend many years learning and improving their English just to get better jobs. In the business world, knowing English means you can earn more money, work with clients from other countries, and grow in your career. So if a language helps people get a good job and earn more money, will they stop learning it? Of course not. And that's another big reason why English is still becoming stronger and more popular. Now let's talk about another big question. Can another language become the global language and take the place of English? The answer is that it's possible, but very hard. Let's look at some of the most powerful languages in the world and see if they could ever replace English. First, we have Chinese, also called Mandarin. It has more than 1.3 billion native speakers, so it is the most spoken language in the world. China also has a very strong economy and plays a big role in world trade, manufacturing, and technology. So, could Chinese take over English? Here's the problem. Chinese is very hard to learn. It has thousands of characters instead of a simple alphabet. The grammar and pronunciation are difficult too. Even if you learn to write Chinese, speaking it clearly is still very hard. Also, even China is teaching more English. Many Chinese students and workers would rather learn English than try to spread Mandarin to the world. That's why Mandarin is a strong language, but it probably won't replace English. Next is Spanish. Spanish has over 500 million speakers and is the official language in more than 20 countries. Could Spanish become the next world language? Here's the problem. Spanish is mainly spoken in Latin America and Spain. Outside of these places, it's not used that much. Even in Spanish-speaking countries, English is more important for jobs and education. Also, most websites, apps, and online tools are still in English. So even though Spanish is growing, it's not strong enough to replace English around the world. Now let's talk about artificial intelligence, also known as AI, and automatic translation. Some people say that in the future, AI tools will be so good that no one will need to learn another language. For example, Google Translate is getting better. Some AI tools can now translate your voice in real time. Maybe in the future, people will wear special earbuds that can translate any language instantly. So, does that mean we won't need English anymore? Not really. Here's why. AI translations still make mistakes. In business, science, and serious work, people will still want to talk clearly in the same language. And right now, that common language is English. English is already part of global culture, business, and education. So even if AI tools improve a lot, English will still be the main global language. So, what can we say about the future? Here is what we can expect. English will keep growing. More people will study it. More schools and universities will teach in English. More businesses will ask their workers to speak it. English may also change in the future. We might see simpler forms of English that make it easier for people in different countries to learn and speak. Other languages like Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic will still be important. They will continue to be strong and useful in many parts of the world. But they will not replace English as the global language. Even with new tools like AI and smart translators, English will still be needed. Technology will help us talk to each other more easily, but people will still need English for work, business, and school. So if you are learning English, you are doing something really smart. You are building a better future for yourself. Because no matter how much the world changes, English will stay the language of opportunity, success, and connection around the world. We've already talked about why English is the global language and why it won't go away anytime soon. But now, let's talk about something even more important: how English can change your life. Because the truth is, English is not just a language. English is a tool. English is power. English is freedom. And if you understand this deeply, if you really believe it, it can change your whole life. Let's start from the beginning. Before we talk about how English can improve your future, let's imagine something. What if you didn't know English at all? Let's say you only speak your native language. At first, it may not seem like a big deal, but soon you start to feel the problem. You want to watch a good movie, but the best ones are in English. You want to read an interesting book, but the most powerful ones are in English. You go online to learn a new skill, but most of the lessons are in English. You apply for a job, but they say English required. You travel to a new country, but no one understands what you're saying. You try to start a business, but your customers speak English. Slowly, you begin to see something very important. Without English, the world feels smaller. There are fewer chances. You don't get access to knowledge. You feel limited. And even worse, you feel stuck. Because no matter how smart, skilled, or hard-working you are, if you don't speak English, many people won't listen to you. That's the truth. That's reality. But here's the good news. You can change this. And that's what we are going to talk about next. Now, let's change the story. Let's imagine a different version of your life. A life where you speak English well. What happens then? You get better job opportunities. If you know English, your career path changes completely. You can apply for high-paying jobs in international companies. You can work from home for companies in the USA, UK, or Canada. You can grow faster at work because you can speak to clients from other countries. If you run a business, you can sell to people all over the world. And here's something amazing. Many people work for years in their own country and earn very little money. But someone who learns English can sometimes earn 2 or 3 times more just because they know the language. That's why in some countries, people study hard for years to become doctors, engineers, or lawyers, but they still don't get good jobs because they don't speak English. Meanwhile, someone who speaks good English can get a high-paying online job with just a laptop and internet. That's the power of English. You can also travel the world without fear. Have you ever wanted to go to places like Paris, New York, London, Dubai, or Tokyo? Have you wanted to see new countries, learn about new cultures, and meet new people? Here's something important to know. English is the language of travel. When you arrive at an airport in another country, most of the signs are in English. When you check into a hotel, the workers usually speak English. If you get lost, you can ask someone for help in English. No matter where you go in the world, someone will understand you if you speak English. But if you don't know English, traveling can become stressful. It can be confusing and hard. So, if you want to travel the world freely and without fear, English is your passport. With English, you can learn anything you want. Let me ask you a question. What is your biggest dream? Do you want to become a doctor, an engineer, a designer, or an artist? Do you want to start your own business and be your own boss? Do you want to be a successful YouTuber, influencer, or writer? No matter what your dream is, there is one thing you need: knowledge. And guess what? Around 90% of the world's knowledge is in English. Think about it. The best universities in the world teach in English. The best books for self-improvement are written in English. The best online classes and how-to videos are also in English. If you don't understand English, you miss all of that. But if you do, you can learn anything. You can build any skill. You can completely change your life. This brings us to the most important idea. Learning English is not just about words or grammar. It's about power. It's about freedom. When you speak English well, you don't feel stuck in your country, your job, or your problems. You feel confident. You feel strong. You feel free. You can talk to anyone in the world. You can earn money from anywhere. You can learn, grow, and follow your dreams. This is why millions of people around the world study English every day, because they understand one thing. English is not just a language. It is a skill that can change your life. The English language is like a key that can open many doors in your life. You don't need to be perfect at it to start using it. Just like when you were a child learning to walk, you fell many times before you could run. English is the same. You'll make mistakes, but each mistake helps you learn and grow stronger. Think about your daily routine. There are so many small moments where you can practice English without even trying hard. When you wake up in the morning, try naming things around your house in English: bed, window, toothbrush. When you're eating breakfast, think about the food in English: bread, eggs, coffee. These little practices add up over time, and soon English words will come to you naturally. Many people worry about their accent when speaking English. But here's the truth. Your accent is part of who you are. People from different countries all speak English with different accents. And that's okay. What matters is that you can communicate your ideas clearly. Don't be afraid to speak because of your accent. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become. A great way to practice is by talking to yourself in English. It might feel funny at first, but it really helps. When you're alone, describe what you're doing in English. Now I'm washing dishes. The water is warm. I need to clean this plate. This simple exercise helps you think in English without pressure. Watching TV shows and movies in English is another fun way to learn. Start with shows you already know and turn on English subtitles. Your ears will get used to how real people speak English in everyday life. You'll notice how they use short phrases and simple words to express ideas. Real English isn't like textbook English. It's more relaxed and natural. Reading is just as important as speaking. You don't need to read difficult books. Start with simple things: children's books, comic strips, or news articles written for learners. The key is to find something interesting so you'll want to keep reading. When you see words you don't know, try to guess their meaning from the rest of the sentence before looking them up. Many people think they need to study for hours every day to learn English well. But actually, short daily practice works better. Just 15 to 20 minutes every day is enough if you do it regularly. It's like exercising. Doing a little every day is better than one big session once a week. Find small moments throughout your day to practice, while waiting for the bus, during lunch break, or before bed. Don't worry too much about grammar at first. The most important thing is to start communicating. Think about how little children speak. They make many grammar mistakes, but people still understand them. You can do the same. Start with simple sentences and add more grammar as you go. It's better to speak with mistakes than not to speak at all. Making friends who speak English can really help your learning. Look for language exchange partners in your city or online. You can help them with your language, and they can help you with English. These conversations are great practice because they're real communication, not just classroom exercises. Remember that learning English is a journey, not a race. Some days you'll feel like you're making great progress. Other days you might feel stuck. This is normal for everyone learning a language. The important thing is to keep going, even when it's hard. Every small step forward counts. Think about all the opportunities that open up when you know English. You can make friends from other countries, get better jobs, travel more easily, and access so much knowledge online. English connects you to the whole world. When you feel discouraged, remember why you started learning and how much it can improve your life. The best time to start is now. Don't wait until you feel ready. You'll never feel completely ready. Start with what you know today and build from there. Even if you only know a few words, use them. Say hello to someone in English. Try reading one simple sentence. These small beginnings lead to big results over time. Every English speaker you admire, actors, business people, writers, they all started where you are now. They weren't born knowing English. They learned it step by step, just like you're doing. If they could do it, so can you. Your English will get better day by day if you keep practicing. One day, you'll realize that English doesn't feel like a foreign language anymore. It feels like another way to express yourself. That day will come sooner than you think if you stay consistent. So take a deep breath and begin. Speak one English sentence today. Read one paragraph. Learn one new word. These small actions, repeated every day, will change your life in ways you can't even imagine yet. The world of English is waiting for you, and it's closer than you think. Now think about how you'll feel 1 year from today if you practice English regularly. You'll be able to understand movies without subtitles, have conversations with foreigners, maybe even get a better job. That future is possible if you start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your English journey begins with the decision to take that first step right now. Don't worry about how long the road is. Just focus on moving forward one step at a time. Before you know it, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. English isn't just about words and grammar. It's about new experiences, new friends, and new opportunities. It's about seeing the world in a different way. And the best part? It's all within your reach. You have everything you need to succeed. All that's left is to begin. So what will your first step be today? Will you try saying 5 sentences in English? Will you read a short article? Will you learn 3 new words? Choose one small thing and do it now. That's how great journeys begin, with simple actions repeated every day until they become second nature. You might not feel different after 1 day of practice, but after 30 days, after 60, the changes will surprise you. The key is to keep going even when progress feels slow. Every minute you spend with English is an investment in your future, Imagine yourself 1 year from now speaking English comfortably. Imagine the doors that will open for you. That future is waiting, and it all starts with what you do today. Not with big dramatic changes, but with small, consistent efforts that add up over time. The power to change your life through English is in your hands. No one can do it for you, but no one can stop you either. It's your choice, your journey, your future, and the best time to start is always now. So take that first step, then another, and another. Before long, you'll be running farther than you ever thought possible. The world of English is yours to explore. All you have to do is begin. When you practice English every day, it's like planting seeds in a garden. At first, you don't see anything happening. The seeds are underground, working silently. But with regular watering and care, small green shoots appear, then leaves, then flowers. Your English grows the same way. Invisible progress at first, then clear signs of improvement. One day you'll surprise yourself by understanding a whole conversation or thinking in English without translating in your head. Technology makes learning English easier than ever before. Your smartphone can be your best teacher if you use it right. Change your phone's language to English. Follow English learning pages on social media. Download apps that teach you a few words each day. These small changes turn your everyday device into a powerful learning tool. Try keeping an English diary, where you write just a few sentences each day about what happened. It doesn't need to be perfect. Today I woke up early. I ate rice for lunch. My friend called me. Simple sentences like these help you think in English. After a few months, you'll see how much your writing has improved. When you're out in public, practice reading signs and advertisements in English. Many products have English words on them. Restaurants often have English menus. Try reading these whenever you see them. This helps connect English to your real life, not just textbooks. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Most people are happy to explain words or phrases they use. If you don't understand something, just say, "Can you say that differently?" Or, "What does that word mean?" People appreciate when you're trying to learn their language. Your brain learns best when you're relaxed and having fun. So find ways to make English enjoyable. Watch funny videos in English, read jokes or comics, play word games. When you associate English with positive feelings, you'll learn faster and remember more. One of the best ways to enjoy learning English is through stories. Our brains are wired to remember stories much better than facts or vocabulary lists. Try reading simple short stories or children's books in English. At first, you might need to look up many words, but soon you'll start recognizing patterns. The same words keep appearing, and before you know it, they become part of your vocabulary naturally. You can find these stories everywhere, online, in libraries, even in apps. Start with very simple ones, even if they seem too easy. The goal isn't to challenge yourself, but to build confidence and familiarity. As you improve, you can move to more complex stories. Many classic stories like The Little Prince or Charlotte's Web are available in simplified English versions for learners. Another fun method is watching cooking shows or DIY videos in English. These work well because you can see what's happening while hearing the words. When someone says, "chop the onions" while chopping onions, you connect the words to the action without translation. Plus, You might learn a new recipe or skill along the way. Don't forget about podcasts made for English learners. These often speak slower and use simpler words at first. Listen while you're doing chores, exercising, or commuting. Even if you don't understand everything at first, your ears are getting trained to recognize English sounds and rhythms. Over time, you'll start picking up more and more words. Games can be powerful learning tools too. Simple word games like Scrabble or Boggle help with vocabulary. Online quizzes and language apps turn learning into play. Even crossword puzzles designed for learners can be both challenging and rewarding. The key is to make it feel like entertainment, not study. Social media is full of English learning opportunities if you know where to look. Follow accounts that post English memes, jokes, or interesting facts. Memes are especially good because they combine words with images, making them easier to remember. You'll be learning while scrolling through your feed. Try labeling things around your home with sticky notes in English. Put mirror on your mirror, closet on your closet. Every time you see these objects, you'll reinforce the words without extra effort. After a week, remove the notes and see how many you remember. This simple trick builds everyday vocabulary painlessly. Cooking from English recipes is another practical way to learn. Start with simple dishes you know well. You'll learn food words, cooking verbs, and measurement terms naturally. If something goes wrong because you misunderstood, you'll have a funny story to tell later. Keep an English-only notebook where you write down interesting words or phrases you encounter. But don't just write the word in translation. Add where you heard it, who said it, or draw a little picture. These personal connections help your brain remember better. Review this notebook occasionally, and you'll be surprised how much you've collected. When you're feeling tired of studying, try passive learning methods. Put on an English radio station in the background while doing other things. Sleep with an English podcast playing quietly. Your brain continues absorbing the sounds even when you're not actively listening. It's like exercise for your ears. Find an English-speaking pen pal or chat partner. There are many websites where people want to exchange languages. You write to them in English, they write to you in your language. This real communication is motivating because someone is actually waiting for your message. Start with short messages and gradually make them longer as you improve. Singing along to English songs is great practice, even if you're not a good singer. Print the lyrics and try to match the singer's pronunciation. Pay attention to how words connect and change in songs. This helps with understanding natural speech patterns. Plus, songs stick in your memory, helping you remember phrases. Try thinking in English for short periods during the day. While waiting in line, describe what's around you in your head in English. When making plans, think through them in English. Start with just 2 to 3 minutes at a time. This mental switch is challenging at first, but gets easier with practice and dramatically improves fluency. Watch the same movie or TV episode multiple times in English. First with subtitles in your language, then with English subtitles, then without any subtitles. Each viewing helps in different ways. You'll notice how much more you understand each time. Favorite shows work best because you won't mind watching them repeatedly. Read English versions of books you already know well in your language. Since you're familiar with the story, you can focus on the language without getting lost. Children's books you loved or popular novels you've read work perfectly for this method. When you learn a new word, try using it immediately in 3 different sentences. This active use helps cement it in your memory better than just repeating it. Even if you make up silly sentences, the act of creating with the new word makes it yours. Carry a small notebook or use your phone to jot down interesting English words or phrases you encounter in daily life. Maybe on a product label in a shop window or something you overhear. Later, look them up and try using them yourself. These real-world examples are often more memorable than textbook vocabulary. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing as you cook or clean. Have imaginary conversations in the shower. It might feel strange at first, but it's excellent practice with zero pressure. You'll find yourself becoming more fluent in expressing everyday thoughts. Take advantage of dead time in your day. Waiting for the bus, standing in line during commercials. Use these moments to review vocabulary on an app, listen to a short podcast, or mentally name objects around you in English. These small pockets of time add up significantly over weeks and months. Remember that understanding English is just as important as speaking it. Train your ears by listening to different accents. British, American, Australian. Start with clear speakers like news reporters, then move to movies with more casual speech. Your listening skills will improve faster than you think. When you make mistakes, and everyone does, try to laugh about them. Some of the best language learning stories come from funny misunderstandings. These mistakes mean you're trying, and they often teach you more than perfect lessons ever could. One day, you'll look back on them and smile at how far you've come. Remember that English is a tool for communication, not a test to pass. The goal isn't perfection, it's connection. Even with mistakes, you can make friends, share ideas, and understand others. Every time you use English, no matter how simple, you're succeeding. Some days will feel harder than others. You might forget words you thought you knew, or struggle to understand someone. This happens to every language learner. On these days, be kind to yourself. Remember how far you've come, not how far you have to go. Tomorrow will be better. Celebrate every small victory. Understood a movie scene without subtitles? That's a win. Had a short conversation in English? Another win. These successes add up over time. Keep track of them to stay motivated when learning feels difficult. English is all around you, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. Look for it in songs playing in stores, in foreign products at the supermarket, in tourist areas of your city. Start noticing these everyday English moments. They're all chances to practice. So take that first step today, however small, then take another tomorrow. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. Before you know it, you'll be speaking English with confidence, wondering why you ever thought it was difficult. The journey begins now. Are you ready to start?